good morning. This is a day in my life as a self-employed person. I woke up around 5:30. I did a lot of sitting around and drinking coffee and journaling. That's what I do every morning. I usually have a couple of Americanos. They're delicious. My partner buys huge bags of green coffee beans and roasts them at home in a roaster that he made. So I did that, which is the same as every morning. Then I came over here next door to my art studio, and it was very cold in here because I had the heat off. And so I made a fire. This is my first fire of the season. It is October 22nd, and it's just cold enough. The heat was turned off here in my studio because I fired the kiln yesterday. If I have the heater and the kiln going at the same time, it might trip the breaker. So while the kiln was really hot, it probably flipped off sometime in the middle of the night. The building was like 60 degrees, so I made my first fire. Yay. I just answered a question that I got from a customer on Etsy, and probably a consume last customer, because she asked me to answer a question that was literally in the listing. I do my best to make my listing kind of like illustrations with text laid over the image. So she wanted to know how many layers the mask has that I am selling on Etsy, and it's like literally like right there in the picture. So I very politely answered the question and also sent her the picture into her inbox. And that's part of being self-employed. You just have to do those kinds of things sometimes. I think like some years ago, that sort of stupid question would like really annoy me, but people, she's probably just consumed last. So I helped her out and answered the question for her. No big deal. That's my job. Sometimes you have to answer stupid questions when you're self-employed. So anyway, cozy fire. I'm getting ready to get my dog and run to the post office to deliver the Etsy packages that were ordered yesterday. But first, let's go check the kiln and see what we got from the kiln fire last night. Okay, so here is the kiln fire. I just opened the lid. These are a bunch of porcelain tiles. They probably won't make a whole lot of sense to you, but I will show you how I'm going to decorate them. These are going to be magnets and brooch pins. The whole kiln is filled with these kinds of objects. Very exciting. Walk into the post office. It is really, really cold this morning. I don't know, maybe it's not that cold, but it's a shock to my system because it's the first really cold day of the season. Walking to the post office. This guy loves it. He loves the job. He loves walking to the post office with me. So my dog, Cedar, and I just got back from the post office, and I dropped Cedar off at my partner's house, and I checked in with my partner to see what he's doing with his day. I had my third espresso of the day with him and just sat down and chatted about the day. He's self-employed also, so his days vary, and he just, told me what he's got going on today. It sounds like he'll be kind of in and out. He's going around to all the rental properties to put the styrofoam things on the pipes because we could get a freeze here over the weekend. So he wants to make sure all the houses are protected. Property management is just one of the things that he does. He's sort of a jack of all trades. So he'll be in and out all day, and we just kind of take these little mini breaks with each other to just catch up and, hug a little bit. So after I caught up with him and had my third espresso of the day, I checked my phone and there were a million gazillion messages, a whole bunch of new massage therapy appointments. People are booking out through November and December just to make sure that they get on my schedule, because I'm only seeing one massage therapy client per day, usually about up to 5 clients a week. So the availability is limited. So my clients are all booking out farther in the future, which is awesome because I'm a planner. I like to plan. And there were also a couple of Etsy orders. So, the holiday season is ramping up. Orders are starting to pick up a lot. And so I've got a lot of work to do today to get those orders out. There was also a notification of a reschedule. I was planning on doing a video coaching call at 10 a.m. and that has been rescheduled to next week because of a last minute kind of thing that came up. So instead of doing that, I'll have more time to work on these Etsy orders, and I need to put a whole bunch of decals on my porcelain ornaments that I showed you earlier. I need to load the kiln and try to fire it again today. I don't know if there's time to do all that now that I have all these other Etsy orders, and I gotta get those orders packaged up. So I'm gonna get right to it. All right. So sitting at my computer, it's 11:04. The day is getting away from me. I just spent way too long doing all this graphic design stuff, trying to print the decals to go on to the tiles that I'm making. I wasn't recording, but what you would have seen is a whole bunch of observer freakouts with me like cussing at my computer because it just wasn't doing what I was telling it to do. So you would have heard me say, no, not even a little bit. That is not even a little bit what I fucking asked you to do. Saying that a lot to my computer and getting really frustrated. I was listening to focus music, like calming kind of focus music. I found that that sometimes helps when I have to do a lot of like really potentially observer freak outish kind of tasks, things on the computer and graphic design. It wasn't really working today, the calming music. I gotta work on that. I'm practicing. Like emotions and reactions are just a habit, you know, it's like a habitual chemical brain response. And I know from past experience with my anxiety that I can change it. I used to have a lot of anxiety. Anxiety is a habit. I worked on it and I changed it and now it's better. So the thing that I'm working on now is observer freakouts and that habitual chemical reaction of like getting frustrated and angry when the computer doesn't do what I want it to do, or just like things in the physical world are tedious. And it's probably one of my biggest demons. It's one of the biggest things that I've learned from studying objective personality is understanding my fourth function, the masculine SI. I have this activated masculine SI combined with masculine FI. So when I get pissed off about SI not doing what I need it to do, then everybody knows. I'm just have this, you know, cloud of anger kind of wafting off of me, and everybody anywhere near me knows it. Anyway, I didn't record all that. You missed it. So I ate lunch, blueberries and oatmeal and yogurt, if you're curious. Now I'm putting all these decals on. I really want to get this kiln loaded and so that I can fire it again today, but if I don't start it by 3, there won't be enough time. I might have to fire it tomorrow, but I'm just putting all these decals on. I had to buy a different kind of printer, so I gave my old printer to my partner and I bought a new one that has a higher amount of iron oxide in the ink. There's like 2 brands of printers. It's like HP and Canon LaserJet printers. They're only black and white and they print iron oxide. So when this fires, it's going to make an iron oxide impression in there. It's going to actually fire the image onto the tile. And so the way that I do these is like by just getting them wet. I get this porcelain ornament wet. It's just a porcelain unglazed and I've sanded it to be really smooth. And I get the decal wet also. And then just kind of slide the decal over. It's like this plastic film that slides off, and I line it up on the ornament about where I want it and then slide the paper backing off and just puts the decal on there. So I'm going to sit here and do this for a while, and while I do that, I'm listening to the OP classes because it's Thursday, so 4 new classes just came out. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm hoping to get this all loaded and get the kiln started by 3. It's 12:18, so maybe I can do it. And then I also have a whole bunch of other orders that I need to get out tomorrow for Etsy, so I might have to do a little sewing. Some of the orders might be something that I don't already have completed. I gotta get to work. So I got all the decals finished and got the kiln loaded and turned it on at 2:40, so I met my deadline. Later I'll turn it up to medium and then turn it up to high before I go to bed, and it'll shut off automatically when it reaches temperature sometime in the middle of the night, probably while I'm sleeping. I have an OWI report today, an FI high sleep OWI report. I just don't feel very good. I think it's fall allergies. I often feel this way in the fall. I guess I'm allergic to mold. So I kind of hit a wall and I just don't have energy. My energy is really unpredictable. Like that's why I get up so early and get going and just start doing things really early in the morning, because I don't know when I'm going to hit that wall and just be tired. After I finished all those decals and turned on the kiln, I went to go get a little snack, a little pick me up, and I'm just kind of like throwing shit at it, trying to feel better. So I was eating all kinds of weird things that I wouldn't normally eat. So I had like some flaming hot Cheetos, which I would never eat. Like, I don't even buy those. My partner buys them. But, you know, they're kind of hot. And, like, the endorphins from that actually made me feel better. I had half a beer. My partner homebrews beer. And I thought, well, you know, alcohol, maybe that'll move the needle a little, make me feel a little bit better. And some gummy bears. So that's not normally, I normally make pretty healthy choices, but when I don't feel good, I just feel like I want to throw crap at it and see if something's going to make me feel better. It doesn't really make sense, but it's counterintuitive. I've always noticed that when I feel bad, I want to eat crap, thinking that somehow it's going to make me feel better. So now I'm taking a little afternoon break, and my partner is showing me the greenhouse, and these are all the vegetables that we're going to eat. Nice and sunny, and now I have to get back to work. I just checked in with my partner, see what he's up to, and he's so sweet. He's going to the package store to get my package because I ordered another bolt of fabric. It's like a long cylindrical thing, like you can see here, and it was delivered today to our UPS store, and I just want to get it out of the store because it's like taking up space. I just try to be nice about that when my packages are delivered, that I try to go get them right away because the store is really small and I want to have a good relationship with the package people. Anyway, I'm so super busy. I still have so much to do, so he's gonna go pick that up for me and check the mail. And now I have to get Etsy orders together that came today so that I can take them to the post office tomorrow morning. I will do the same thing running with my dog to the post office. That's our daily routine that we like to do together. And now I have to edit a video. Not this one, not the day in the life video. I'm gonna edit a different video that I made last week. I wish I had better energy because I have so much enthusiasm. Like, I am so curious and there's so many things I want to do, but I just don't have the energy. I don't feel good. You know, I'm just having all kinds of issues with this iMovie trying to export this video, and I just realized that I need to chop wood. I need to chop kindling for tomorrow morning because it's going to be cold again tomorrow morning, and I want to be respectful of my neighbors and not chop the kindling before 8 a.m. So now it is 6:18 p.m. and I'm going to go chop some wood. Okay, so this is pretty cool because I just made a whole bunch of kindling and I'm gonna go ahead and build my fire for tomorrow morning. Even though it's the night before, it will be so amazing if I come over here early tomorrow morning, maybe 6 o'clock or 6:30 a.m. and the fire is already built. Then all I will have to do is just like put a little paper in there and light it. It'll be ready to go. Okay, so it's 7:38 p.m. I just ate dinner. My partner made dinner. He's amazing. He does a lot of really amazing things for me. Like, he makes dinner every night. So we just had like some salad. I eat salad every night. He eats other stuff like rice and like tacos and all kinds of stuff. I just have basically salad because I'm so little. I'm like 5 feet tall. So I can't eat too much or I will gain weight rapidly. So I had some chicken and some salad with some salsa on top. It was good. I'm still uploading this video. It's 7:39. Normally I would have this done more like on time, but there was a lot of unexpected stuff earlier in the morning, like a whole bunch of messaging, like administrative stuff, messages that I needed to reply to, and it just kind of like made the whole day last longer. So ideally I would not want to be working this late at night, but this video is only 81% loaded and I just want to make sure that it gets uploaded all the way. I made a shitty thumbnail like I always do. So if everything goes right, this will just like auto post tomorrow at 3 a.m. That's 3 a.m. Pacific time, so I guess it's like 6 o'clock on the East Coast. If you can kind of see how old I am. Like, actually almost 44 years old, so the skin is kind of loose right here. I used to have so much collagen. I miss collagen. So anyway, this is a day in my life as a self-employed person. Oh, this is interesting. How much money did I make today? So it's totally random. I mean, I could have made nothing, but it just so happens that I have to use my calculator.
About $180. So not tons of money. That just happens to be how much I made today. And that's before expenses. So, all kinds of expenses would be subtracted from that. And that's before paying taxes. I usually pay my taxes annually. Maybe I should pay them quarterly, but I usually just pay them annually. And yeah, some days I make no money and some days I make way more than that. It just fluctuates. So it's not really about that. I'm not really thinking about that throughout the day when I'm working. It's interesting because with massage, it's more per hour, but that's kind of just because I've been doing it for 15 years. Like there's a lot of work behind the scenes, and there was more of that behind the scenes work like earlier in my career. All the hours spent figuring how to build a website and how to work out my online scheduling and marketing and all that. Now I'm not doing any of that. It's kind of running on autopilot. I'm actually turning people away because there just isn't enough time in my schedule to take on new clients, and there's kind of a risk because of the coronavirus. So I'm only seeing my regulars. It's really very little behind the scenes effort that I'm putting into my massage therapy business. I know my clients, they like me, I like them, they're comfortable coming here to my office. I'll insert some pictures of what it looks like on the nice side where I actually see clients, because on this half of the room is like all art stuff, Etsy stuff, handmade business stuff. But when a client comes to the office, it's all really tidy. I clean everything up. Everything has a place, everything gets put away. I dust the room from top to bottom and vacuum and sanitize all the surfaces, because that's how we do in 2020. Anyway, I'm about done with this day. I don't think I can do this day anymore. I fall asleep pretty early. I need a lot of sleep. I sleep like 8 or more hours every night, sometimes longer. Like if I'm strength training, I'll sleep a lot longer. It's 7:43 p.m. I would like to get in bed. I won't necessarily fall asleep right away, but I will get in bed and look at the internets, the YouTubes and the Netflixes and the Facebooks. And about 8:55, I'll plug in all my devices, make sure that everything's charged. I'll crawl in bed, close my eyes, and drift off into sleeping and abstract thoughts and dreaming. That's about it. That's a day in my life. All my days as a self-employed person are different, but a lot of them were a lot like this day. Lots of ups and downs. It was a pretty good day. I got really frustrated quite a few times, but that's normal. It's just like how it is to be me. I'm working on it. I'm trying to not get so frustrated because it gets these like stress chemicals going. Like when I get really pissed off at my computer and like a video that won't load, or like a browser that takes like 11 minutes to open, I get frustrated and I get all these stress chemicals going, and it makes me feel bad. It makes me feel like really crummy. So I need to work on it because I know that reaction is just a habit. So yeah, I'll keep you posted. Good night, y'all.